There we go. That ought to do it. Look at this dog. Every morning, the routine, right? Every single morning. Hey, Bubby. Into the shop we go, and then I find a goodie for her in here somewhere. Sarah saved all of the feet from the chickens, from the meat birds that we processed. And then, I don't know what she did. Coated them in oil or something, then dried them out in a cookie sheet. They're disgusting. Look at that. Ugh. Guess who loves them? What that? Here you go. Sit down. Sit down for your treat. Sit. Good girl. There you go. Alright, see you later. Now, absolutely pouring rain. No raccoon in the trap this morning. We ordered 19 turkeys to put in my meat shed back there. And the majority of them died in the first week. Not from us. And of course, you try to get your refund and they want to fight you. Whatever. We lost. We lose, you lose. Take your money. Ship us a shitty product, we lose. Anyway, we're down to 2. And they're with the meat chickens, and after we slaughtered the chickens, we moved the 2 turkeys in with the laying hens. And I don't know what happened. I guess they were too big to go into the chicken door, and they were going into the other little pen. A raccoon went in there and murdered one of my last 2. We've got 1 turkey. And I got 1 turkey left. So I used a drumstick in the trap last night. The sucker wouldn't go in it. Anyway. Random, mindless news there, right? So, yesterday, day before, I took a few days to finally get Dr. Melba Ketchum and I speaking with each other. I don't even know where to begin. Very, very informative. Melba shared with me more than she has ever shared previously anywhere, ever, publicly, in about anywhere. Took her a while to feel confident because of possibly a past association with some people that did her wrong. A lot of people have done her wrong. What a frustrating story it is for me to hear. And I listen to all sides. I've listened to all sides. My own, I don't jump on anybody's bandwagon. And Dr. Melba Ketchum is definitely one of the most honest people I've come across. And she has been through the ringer only because she brought forward the truth and would not change the facts of the truth that she had discovered with other scientists, not on her own. And just as you know, today, especially today, I hope to think that the majority of the people in the world know today what happens to truth tellers. Another word for a truth teller is a whistleblower. What happens to them? There's a recipe, right? There's a recipe that is definitely a pattern which is used against truth-telling people. It makes you growl. Anyway, Melba and I had, I don't know how long we talked. We spoke for probably an hour and a half before we even hit record to record a lot of question and answer times. I had a lot of things confirmed. For me, was I overly surprised at some of the others? I'm trying to look back. It was such a long conversation, and I was deathly tired. Mel was a night owl. I'm like, hey, let's do this tomorrow afternoon. Well, why don't we start at 6 o'clock your time? And she was always pushing for later. She's a night owl. Meanwhile, we're up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. Bed early. So by the end of our conversation, I don't think I got to bed till 1 in the morning. I was kind of like, so I may not have been the smoothest person at the end of the video, towards the end of the video, but it is what it is. It's very, very informative. It's absolutely unprecedented. The things Melba shared with me, the items she shared, the knowledge, it's absolutely mind-bending, boggling, amazing, fantastic. Could be interpreted as somewhat alarming. Some knowledge shared. I do not write anything down. I don't practice anything which I believe makes, I guess maybe it may be the right thing to do, maybe it isn't, but I don't give a flying shit. Being authentic is just bullshitting away, speaking openly without any pre-arranged, practiced questions. Right? Or pretentious delivery, or pretentious phony attitude, you know? This is two neighbors having a good conversation over the fence. That's what I wanted it to be, and that's what it was. It was great. Gold. Golden. Melba has a tough time trusting people today. Understandably. The shit that a lot of people you know of that have done to her makes me... I won't even talk about it. You know. Anyway. One thing I was looking into doing, I thought I could do, I'm not familiar with, was a donation to view. This video is over 3 hours long and loaded with so much knowledge and information. When it comes to this topic, it's gonna blow your frickin' socks off. Is there anything in there that I questioned? I can honestly say no. I can honestly share with the world that my guts, my instincts, which I believe I'm a lot more in tune with, were urging me they just feel the gut urgency to get with Melba, speak with Melba. I've had that for some time now. And my gut rang true. And I didn't have there's no hint of anything dishonest or over the top, what you might call, going on. Nothing. I was 100% focused. I did far more listening than I did speaking. I learned a lot, had a lot confirmed. And what I was saying, backing up a little bit, when I was mentioning that I did not practice or rehearse anything or write anything down, and I was scared of that because I knew that possibly the next day I would be going, oh shit, I forgot to ask her about burp, 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 which I did, but there's one amazing part that's really struck out for me was the radiation mention that she brought up at the tail end, which I totally forgot, because of the other scientists that aren't connected with Melba or anybody here in North America in any way. And they shared with us previously about taking, oh no, that was an American scientist that one mentioned, took the Geiger counter, isn't it called, and put it to the footprints where the Sasquatch stepped within the security boundary, gave off a reading. Anyway, that's another topic we covered in the video, which is absolutely amazing and meshed up with other information that other scientists have dropped on me the past few years. There's a lot in there that was dropped on me from various sources throughout this ride that Melba mentioned on her own without me asking, that meshed up and confirmed. I honestly feel a lot of my puzzle pieces came into place during that conversation. There's a lot coming. There's a lot coming from Melba and her colleagues. They know a lot. They know so much, and they have a lot to come forward with, and they are going to. And the DNA that we all threw down the PayPal for is still ongoing, and is producing, and still ongoing. We didn't really talk about the process. Well, no, we should talk about the process. Anyways, that's still ongoing, just so you know. It's exciting. It's exciting and alarming. I don't know how to describe my feelings on once you... I'm trying to figure out my own personal feelings that I have as I accumulate more knowledge. Is it scary? I believe if you go all the way, it's definitely going to get scary. Instead of just shutting yourself down with just the Sasquatch topic, and that's good enough for me. But I already said earlier, I've said it the whole time, as far as I'm concerned, the Sasquatch topic is one of the easiest ones to deliver to the people to prove that we are being absolutely lied to across the board. Across the board. And that is true. Take from what you will or leave it, but look into yourself. Anyway. So, backing up. So I thought I could have put that video down because I am going to, I need to, I want to, and I am going to generate more revenue for these people. That is a top of my priority list, and that's what I'm going to do. And I think it is absolutely fair to ask for some sort of a donation to go towards the gathering of more knowledge for us through this video. A slight donation to view it. It's going to be a handful of people out there that aren't even listening to what I'm saying, and all they're going to hear is money, and they're going to blow a gasket. I don't give a flying shit. I don't care. I don't care who this makes angry. I don't give a flying shit. You know what? Even if you want to use your rational thinking, 2 people spent what, 6 hours trying to make this happen with their on either end of their tech end. Hiccups, speed bumps, finally made it happen. We spoke for over 3 hours. Had knowledge shared that cost God only knows how much money and time of life it took to acquire that knowledge. Sat down, loaded up on a computer, which cost $1,500. Loaded up to a channel to deliver to the people, and asked for less than a cup of coffee in exchange. So 3 hours and a cup of coffee, what is it, $3 or something? I don't know. So imagine, I'm trying to imagine myself bitching and whining and lashing out because I'm going to pay 2 people $1 per hour so that I can obtain all of their knowledge that they acquired. Right? A little crazy, right? So, no. Do I feel bad? Not a chance. This revenue is going to go to an absolute great cause to help all of us. So there you go. And so what did I learn? I learned that there isn't a pay-per-view, there isn't a donation per view on YouTube. I thought there was. I don't know. I haven't a clue. And that should probably give me a little credit because I've got over 300,000 subscribers here, 7 to 10 million views per month, and I have not become familiar with how to make a pile of money off that, which I know there's people, used to have a pile of people emailing me in the beginning, man, you got 100,000 subscribers, you can make so much money with that. Didn't reply. Whatever. I depend on me to make a living and put food in that house and pay the bills, all right? So, just so anybody lashing out at the pay-per-view thing in this channel, 7 to 10 million hits a month, and I don't even know how to. I haven't even looked into how to take advantage of that and make a shit F pile of money. All right, this is the one time I've ever looked into this. The one time I will. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe something else will come up, or we need an emergency fund for somebody or something. I don't know, but it's there for us to utilize. So anyways, getting back, I'm babbling away. I'm trying to get on this, I guess, if voice is heard. This is what I learned last night, that you can have a members subscription, memberships for the channel. Now, hear me out, what I discovered on my own. I got it in front of me right now. Memberships, and there's 3 tiers or some damn thing. And it takes 24 hours for this to go into place. I'm an open book. I'm sharing everything, all right? So there's levels, 3 different levels, and you are supposed to name each level. And the first level, it has it listed at $2.99 Canadian dollars. What's that? $1 US? But anyways, but there wasn't a video membership viewing video only on that. It was just some kind of stupid sticker and badges things, and I don't know what the hell it was. So I named it Pass This Option. Then the second one that had a bunch of different weird perks, badges, and shoutouts, and all sorts of weird shit that I have no interest in. But the one thing that was in there was members only video access, $3.99 Canadian. So what's that? $2 US. And the next one was some other option. I didn't even read it because I had no interest. The third option, which you had to name, was $29.99. I don't even know what that's for. And I named that one Pass This Option. So the one that I did name was Members Only Video Access. And I'm going to put this one video in there. All right? To generate funds for our knowledge. Do it once. Don't let it continually charge you, because I'm not going to put any more videos in there. And if this does not have any interest to you, there's still going to be me going out of my way to deliver you every single day free access information which comes in from around the planet. All right? Just so you know, in case you got your underwear ripped right up your crack too tight this morning, you're still going to have your free access to all of my time and everybody else's knowledge shared here normally. So there you go. It's going to be over. I think it's a long one, but the video, the information that we brought out to deliver to all of you is unprecedented, mind-boggling. I don't even know. I'm not the best word slinger in the world. It's something else. It's something else. Will it be taken down? Maybe. I don't know. Guess we're gonna find out. It gets taken down, I'll find somewhere else to post it up. They go ramming up their asses, right? Do I feel it's important for you to watch this video? If you are dead serious on gaining knowledge and figuring out this shit, it is the video to watch. It's the video to watch. Hands down. Anyways, I'm still in a bit of a state, in a way, of what I've learned. I appreciate Melba so much, and all of her colleagues. Do I growl more at the people who have tried to suppress and destroy? Yeah, I'm on fire. I'll bite my lip. Now, this thing I tried to do last night, so I just went ahead and put down the intro video, what I was going to do last night, and then I went to load the other video, and there wasn't even an option for it. I'm like, oh shit, I guess I got some more learning to do, so I deleted the whole 9 yards. And in those few seconds that one video went down, I had somebody messaged me and started lashing out. in a real rude and sarcastic way about money. I'll tell you what, I was on fire. If I could, I would have grabbed that person. Let's go up behind the barn. There's a lot of miserable people out there. I thought that we sifted through most of them on this channel. And then, another thing that was brought to my attention was a handful of people out there who keep on saying, you know, the video starts 20 minutes into it. You can miss him talking in 20 or 12 or 15 minutes into it. It's where he shuts up. I'm like, you know what? This is my house. Nobody was asked to come here. This is my house. And I think that's a little bit rude. So I'm in that mood right now. I'm in the mood to crunch down. I might even go back over videos and find who is making comments like that, and I'm gonna block your ass from my house. All right, you're gonna come into my house. You know my feelings about people trying to stop people from speaking. You come into my house and attempt to stop my voice or erase my voice in any way. I can't get my hands on you, so I'm just gonna delete your ass from the channel. All right. You're gonna come into my channel and tell people how to skip over me speaking. You go fuck yourself. How's that sound? Anyway, yeah, I'm in one of those moods. Let's get out of here and some voices. That's the plan. That's what's going down. If you don't like it, too bad. Less than $1 an hour to accumulate the most unprecedented knowledge ever available on the planet ever before, as far as I'm concerned. We're going to generate funds for these people. We're going to keep them rocking and rolling. We are going to make this truth train steam through all the pricks. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're going to do. So it says it takes 24 hours for them to approve. After I did this section on the creators page of YouTube, I think that'll be tonight. So I don't even know if they're going to allow me to do this because it stops. They're making the majority of the money off this, I'm sure, but or a percentage of it. What are they doing? I haven't a clue. But it says I named 2 of the options past this option. And I don't know if Google's going to like that, so who knows if they're going to approve it. We'll find out tonight. The second they approve it, I'm delivering the 3-hour plus video. All right? Just do it for 1 month until you watch a video and chop off your membership, because they're probably going to keep charging you by the month, right? And you don't need to do that, because I'm only doing it for this one video so we can generate funds for these people. More. All right? But I don't know if Google's gonna like that. We're gonna find out tonight. As soon as I get this passed, you will have access to that 3 hours of mind-boggling frickin' knowledge. There you go. And be warned. If you're trying to encourage people to skip through my speech on my house, in my house, you're gonna get deleted and blocked forever. Go F yourself. Here we go. What do we got? Coincidentally, what's up, Bubs? What do you need? What do you need from me? You sense me getting a little aggro? Want me to calm down? All right, I'll calm down. Why people are triggered to react on certain topics is Stella's email. Swear to God. Anyway. Hi, Steve. You're asking the audience to help discover why people are being triggered to react on certain topics. I've watched several videos on the subjects of group mind control, and most recently, quote, mass formation, end quote. Search this term on YouTube. It's a form of mass hypnosis on the public. You'll find some interesting discussions on this topic. When a person is watching the television, they drop into a trance state in a matter of minutes or seconds for people who watch it consistently. Once you're in that state, your brain becomes an open sponge, and subliminal messages go straight into the subconscious mind of the viewer, being completely unaware this is happening. If you've ever watched the news on TV, note the spinning circles, morphing colors, and moving words. All this is designed to put the viewer into a trance state, and it's very effective. If you've ever seen stage hypnosis, where the hypnotist can make someone behave like a chicken, or other strange antics, then it's understandable that under certain conditions, an outside party can take control of the mind and plant triggers without your knowledge. This has been happening for a very long time. A young child watching a cartoon can have triggers implanted in their subconscious mind that stay with them forever. Then as an adult, they don't know why they react or behave to certain things the way they do. and sometimes not even recognize that their behavior is unhealthy or unacceptable. They literally have no control over themselves. When you have triggers implanted from a young age, as you grow up, more triggers from TV programming and education, aka indoctrination, can be linked to the previous triggers already planted, and then you've got quite the intricate set of behaviors embedded in your mind that you have no control over. A woman named Kathy O'Brien does a lot of interviews that you can find online. A short paragraph from Wikipedia, who of course tries to discredit her, states, quote, "According to O'Brien, under hypnosis, she was able to recall memories of sexual abuse of both herself and her daughter by international pedophile rings, drug barons, and Satanists who allegedly used a form of trauma-based mind control programming to make her a sex slave," end quote. But I've heard her talk about this tangled web of triggers that is very difficult, or maybe impossible to undo, because some triggers are planted for the purpose of not allowing other triggers to be removed. How scary is that? It's quite frightening what they're capable of doing. Programming us so we are unable to reverse the programming is quite alarming. So I hope this helps you dive further into the topic and find the information you're looking for. Sincerely, Sarasota Rebel from the Florida Gulf Coast. All right, appreciate you sending that chunk of information in. It's going to be a handful of people that sit gazing at it, and other people are going to be quite interested. So, it sounds like it's something the people need to be aware of, for sure. Now, who's next? This is titled "A Pic from Australia." Steve, please find attached/inserted 2 images. The first one is the whole image. The second is the cropped out left-hand side of that image. I have in no way altered or enhanced or adjusted this pic, just saved it and cropped it. Against the far left gum tree, and also under the overhanging green canopy of fern to the right and down, take from what you will. Taken in the back door of the Yengo National Park in New South Wales, Australia. 1 hour drive from Sydney. I'll contact the person that took this to see if I can go scout the block and try to replicate the pic. If I can, I will. Keep up the interesting search for knowledge, mate. Regards, G. Okay, there you go. What am I looking at? Possibly something in there. Interesting. We'll see what you find. If you can, it looks like it's possibly overcast that day, so you might want to go when it's semi-overcast. Take your duplicate photo so you get the same shadows, right? And then you're gonna have to experiment with the time of day. Figuring out the time of day, you just got to look at which way the shadows are being cast from the branches and rocks around. All right, Bubs, you want to go do something fun? There you go. More pics. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna go put her out in her long pen because she has some fresh deer bones out there. I harvested one more deer with my bow the other day. Okay, here I go. Be back in a second. Starting to get warmer in here. Heater sound drives me bonkers. Now it doesn't drive you guys bonkers, but this is driving me nuts too. Everything's driving me nuts today. Got too much to do. I'll admit it, I'm in one of those moods, but I guess we all get our turn, right? Alright, here's another one. Mark that as red. This is titled "Being Touched or Marked." Hi Steve, this is this is Dan Priest. He shared my encounter back in July entitled "Surrounded by 3 Sasquatch." Listening to yesterday's story about I'm Back with the Elders, a lot of things clicked into place. A lot of my encounters happened in the UP of Michigan, right where you described in the story, bracket, US2/Hiawatha National Forest. I've also had encounters by Atlanta, which isn't far from the Traverse City. I've had lots of time over 40 plus years of being touched where I would wonder, why me? I do agree with the elders on being a good heart/equality/good spirit. I respect the forest people and the woods. I've been a hunter/fisherman/outdoorsman all my life. I'm 52 years old. My question I've always asked myself and still don't have an answer is, Why me? What does it mean to be marked/touched by? What does it mean to be touched? I hear the elders say for life. I've never really went looking for them, but they came to me. If anyone has answers, I'm all ears. I've experienced/encountered a hell of a lot over the years, from physical encounters to mind speak and vision/nightmares. I've had close 2-foot face-to-face encounters. I've been roared at from 15 feet. I've had star people encounters. Orbs. I've had encounters with time missing. If you can ask the elders for some answers for me, I would deeply appreciate it, or some direction. I'm comfortable with them, and they don't bother me. More like neighbors or friends that you don't see often. I don't want them to go away. I want to learn from them if possible. They have thousands of years of knowledge that could help us. Thanks for all you do, and please keep it up. I got your back, my brother. Of the club and no return. Dan Priest from Michigan. Okay, Dan. I will and do, and I'm 100% confident I can get those answers for you. All right? I think I probably even got them the other night. It's probably in the video Melba and I created together. And if not, I will have those answers for you, okay? They are available. They are available. Has this been read? One thing I will caution you, though, is to not be physically near them. Okay? That's a very dead serious, very important item, is to not be physically near them. Okay? And that will be explained thoroughly in the video between Melba and I. Do not spend time physically near these people. Okay, this is titled My Third and Fourth Email. Hi, Steve. You read my first email really soon after you received it. However, I think you have gotten much busier since then. And that's okay, because what you're doing is so very important. I'm writing to you again because these experiences around my property get more interesting by the day. These Sabe people, forest people, whatever you want to call them, seem to act like they own this place. I have no doubt that they have been here for a very long time. As soon as it gets dark, they come around. I do not go outside once it's dark. I close all my windows and shades. However, my husband thinks I'm losing my faculties at the ripe age of 76. I don't even talk much about it with him. However, there was one warm fall morning before daylight. He took his cup of coffee out on the front porch to sit. The doorbell camera caught this entire event, so there's no denying it. My husband has a very bad habit of constantly clearing his throat, especially first thing in the morning. However, he did not do this while he was sitting there enjoying his coffee in the early morning darkness. And all of a sudden, a very deep guttural sound of throat clearing happened. My husband immediately sat up straight and said, "What the hell was that?" He got up, walked to the rail to peer into the darkness, when it happened again. I was watching him via the doorbell camera. Now I have the ability to speak to the doorbell camera and ask who was there. So I held the button down and said, "Did you hear that? You better get your butt in the house." It startled him. It was funny, but not funny. It clearly spooked him. So, these beings not only have the ability to mimic birds, dogs, and other animals, but they can mimic us. I know when they are standing near the windows, they can hear us, because on occasion I will set the indoor camera in a window, and when it detects something, it gives me an alert. The sounds from inside the home are easily heard. I do not do it very often because I usually capture scary things. I was hoping as winter approached they would go somewhere else, but it doesn't appear that they will. Steve, I hope you can find my second email I sent. There's some good info in there too. No one but my husband's family has lived on this property since the late 1800s, so I guess these beings don't feel threatened in any way. I am the newbie here. My husband and I have only been married since '02. Only? It's 22 years. Why they want to reveal themselves to just me, I do not understand. I'm adding this to my third email. We had a storm, a very bad storm about 2 weeks ago, even with high winds and small tornadoes. My doorbell camera picked up some strange circles out my back porch. There were about 5 of them. They seemed very large, just hanging in the air. Most of them appeared to be kind of smoke-like. However, there was one that was larger and very dense, stark white, hanging in front of the others. When the storm was over, they disappeared. Strange and stranger things keep happening. My outdoor camera that I set in my art room window captures figures all the time. I barely can make them out, though. It'll be fingers or teeth or maybe just chest muscles. I noticed early one morning after first light 2 bright blue glowing lights high up on in the trees at the edge of the forest. Only the infrared camera picked them up. I could not see them with my naked eyes. I had the distinct feeling that it was the beings who had retreated to the woods at daylight. I hope you get to read this. I know I'm behind thousands. Keep up the good work, Steve, and please stay well and safe. I listen to you every day. It's the only way I can deal with these beings around my home. I do not provoke them. I stay inside after dark. Much respect, Pamela. I don't care if you share my name. I live in Mississippi. Okay, Pamela. As I can share with you with confidence that if you tell them they're not welcome, tell them to go away, tell them to leave you alone. And if you are spiritual in the name of the Lord, it works. Apparently the word on the street is they have to respect your wishes. So you may want to try that. All right? Let's go out there, speak with confidence, say, hey, that's enough. Leave my home and us alone. You done already? Are you little pork chop? All right, who's next? Who is next? All right, here's another one. Long email, but I hope it helps others. Hi, Steve. Thank you for taking time out of your busy life to share all of your stories. I know I can't speak for all of us, so we really appreciate you. I don't mind using my name. I am Kevin Batchman. I'm in my 50s, and I can give 2 craps from an elephant what people think. Right on, man. You're a free man. I wrote you before, but I'm not sure if you've read it or if I have the right email. Hopefully I get it right this time. I'm not a good writer, but I will try to do my best. A little about myself. I've always loved the outdoors ever since my heart attacks and strokes. I haven't got to be out that much in the woods, but I still try to get out there as much as I can on my encounters. Okay, man, thanks for the kind words. Appreciate it. Now, my first encounter, it was in the 80s, and I lived on a ranch in Corona, California. Side note, the Cleveland National Forest is about 2 miles from our 11-acre ranch. Camp Pendleton is about 40 miles south of my location, and San Onofre, O-N-O-F-R-E power plant is 30 miles west if you go straight over the Clevelands. Just wondering if that is a reason why I had an experience. Anyhow, I was in my early teens, and my house is a quarter of a mile from the main road. I walked through the pasture because it was the quickest way. I noticed the horses were in the very corner of their stalls, which was odd. Then, as I was walking, I heard something stand up from the bushes about 15 feet away. And yes, I mean stand. I've taken this route hundreds of times. Never have I been so terrified. It scared the crap out of me. So I just started looking to the house. I could hear it keeping pace with me. It was approximately 20 feet away on the other side of the fence line. Steve, as I was running past a chicken coop, I felt and heard something, or someone say, I'm almost have you. Might have meant I almost have you, I don't know. I spun around, ready to fight, and there's nothing there. Nothing. But a slight breeze when I turned around. There was no breeze or wind prior to that. It reminded me of the time you said that. You said that Sarah felt like something was right behind her when she was walking the dog. Nothing else happened at the ranch after that. Sorry. Number 2. My uncle and auntie used to own the Mercantile at Lake Quinault, Washington. My mom, dad, and two of my 5 kids and I were visiting their house at the lake in 2003. They had a nice home on the east side of the lake. On the back side of the Mercantile was a path into the rainforest. On the back side of the Mercantile, there was an incline that would take you into the forest. Me and my cousin would take the kids out looking for different colored tree slugs. I know it sounds weird, but my kids and I loved it. We explored all the beautiful woods for a couple of hours. We came across this football-sized clearing and decided to look for snakes under the rocks. My kids have never done that, so I wanted to show them how many snakes actually could fit under the rocks. The tree line was on all 4 sides of this clearing. It was just magnificent. My cousin was just sitting on a huge tree that had fallen over, enjoying the sunlight. The last rock I lifted, we hit the jackpot. My boys were so excited. Suddenly, a little pebble landed in the middle of the snakes. A little pebble landed in the middle of the snakes. I looked at both my boys and asked who threw the pebble. They responded, "Not us, Daddy." So I looked over at my cousin and asked her if she threw something, and she said no. So I asked them again, one by one. My first child was to the right of me, and he emphatically said, "Daddy, I didn't do it. It came from over there." So I looked at my other son, thinking that he meant that his brother threw it. As I turned to ask my other son, I saw a pebble whiz past his face and land in the same spot as the other. That freaked me the hell out. I scanned the tree line and saw nothing. My cousin was a good 30 feet away. How could this have happened? Next thing I knew, my cousin yelled out to me and said, "Let's go, it's time to go." I said, "Do you see something? Did you see those pebbles?" She said no, and we started back to the Mercantile. No other incidents occurred, thank God. The next night, I had the munchies. So I went down to grab grub from the Mercantile and decided to sweep the aisles for my uncle while he was cooking. As I was finishing up, I heard something. I wasn't sure what it was. I knew it came from the back door. So I looked down the entryway and I noticed that it was really dark outside the door's window, which is fine because it was about 1 in the morning. Then I thought, there's a huge floodlight that lights up the back area. Shit. My heart sank as all of a sudden I see the doorknob twist, open a little, then close back softly. I yelled, "Who's that?" As I ran away to the back of the store, LOL. It took me a good 10 minutes to have the courage to go back and look to the door. So I turned off the grill and decided to look towards the door again. As I peeked around the corner, I noticed the floodlight was shining bright like it shouldn't have been before I saw the doorknob turn. Now I was officially freaked out. Needless to say, I stayed in the Mercantile for another 30 minutes. Finally, I got the nerve to go back upstairs with no weapon. I opened the back door, locked up the store, and turned around to head up the walkway to my cousin's. That's when my blood ran cold and my hair went to wire. I heard something to my right about 30 feet away. At the top of the incline that leads to the forest was a 7 or 8 foot tall silhouette of a man. At least that's what my mind was telling me. I wanted to run so bad, but I just started whistling as I walked to the upstairs door, praying the whole way to the door. Got in the door, locked both of the deadbolts, and went into my room. I just sat there silently listening to anything with my 30-30 in my hands. I didn't hear anything, so I eventually fell asleep. The next morning, as I was sitting down with my cousin having breakfast, my kids were still asleep, so I told her about what I experienced. She just laughed and I said it wasn't that funny. I was scared shitless. She replied, "They probably just wanted to know what you're doing." And she laughed again. And I asked her about why. She said it was time to leave the other day. Sorry, there's missing some punctuation. Sorry. I asked her about why. She said it was time to leave the other day in the clearing. She said When you can't hear anything in the forest, it's time to go. I told her about the pebble incident, and she said they throw rocks on the roof sometimes. You should go look up in the gutters and you'll see all sorts of rocks up there. I told her no thanks. Well, those are my encounters. I hope it wasn't too hard to read. Blessings to you and your family. My friend, sincerely, Kevin Batchman. Okay, Kevin, gotcha. Got the note too at the bottom. Appreciate you, man. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. There's a lot of answers in the, there's a lot of frickin' answers in the conversation between me and Melba. A lot. What do we got? Where's another one? This is titled Puzzle Piece, Hopefully. Okay, let's hear it. I am all ears. Dogman encounters. Basically, it's an interview about a military driver being attacked for the food they were hauling to a train platoon. It was about 90 meters, but my gut tells me it's true. Afterwards, last 10 minutes, new subs show up and the driver gets out of the leader. Quote, "You are just as important as they are there are things, possibly aliens, dark forces, they can only deal with." I know how busy you are, Steve, and I doubt you'll address this, but perhaps you could give the last 10 minutes a listen, as it could be a huge puzzle piece. And I would feel like if I didn't try, I would be letting myself and people down. I know this is not your wheelhouse, but I trust your bullshit meter. Yours sincerely, Dean. You can mention my name if read. Also, I'd like to say I would like to say after my top 2 truth warriors, you and David, no arse kissing meant. I scanned most reputable YouTube to connect dots from Edgar to Owlman, and this hit my gut as definite shelf saver till more info comes out, as Sasquatch seem to escort us out of areas, whereas they could pull us apart. Also, why so many Dogman witnesses? I'm sure they're both bad and good, but I have a feeling, after David's, the UFO connection, do these UFOs/UAPs drop these many kind of cryptids off to train us, or F with us? Excuse me, or deal with underground beings? Excuse me. Lastly, are they the wipe-up crew if we all start pushing the wrong buttons? I greatly appreciate it just being read offline if it's too much. A great admirer of your integrity and honesty, Dean. Okay, Dean, appreciate it. A little garbled. I'm not that smooth right now, maybe. We discussed and shared back and forth a lot of information on the Dogman thing that I like to refer it to. I don't know why. The Dogman thing. Probably because I've stated in the past as well, the title Dogman is just a little bit much for my brain previously. Now, do I believe... Let's discuss this for a minute. Do I believe the Dogman is a true, real being? Yes, I do. My gut has told me, and I've shared this in the past. And take note, previously, somebody mentioned the Dogman. I'd be like, oh God, here we go again. Right? So just so you know, I was 100% one of those people, for sure, that heard the Dogman being mentioned. I'd be like, oh God, come on, not this again. But after thousands of eyewitnesses from around the globe, I would be an irresponsible dumbass to ignore these testimonies. That's what I realized for myself. Don't jump my bandwagon. To each their own. So, confirm these things are real. Are they good or are they bad? My gut has been telling me bad. Melba and I, in our conversation, we discussed the Dogman to some length. And my gut, for the most part, more confirmation, my gut is correct. They're not good. Now, one thing that has been passed on, I've heard this more than a handful of times from various directions that weren't connected with each other. Sources that weren't connected with each other was, if you do, and you can, or you need to shoot them in the head dead between the ears, and dump him and kill him. And that's another lengthy conversation that Melba and I had. All right. So there you go. You see one of these. You see something with a canine head on it that looks like it's sounded like a man. It's huge, menacing, glowing eyes, whatever. It's not. It's not a good thing. It doesn't want to play fetch or hump your leg. All right. And if you decide you are going to take a poke at one with your gun, you better shoot it in the head and don't stop shooting. Don't shoot it anywhere else. Shoot it in the head. We discussed that in our conversation with Melba. So there you go. Now, let me try to get another voice heard. I'm backed right up on time. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. My clock is frickin' ticking. Time is really, really going by fast for me. I don't know why. It's a little annoying. What do we got here? This is a fairly new one, I believe. This is titled My Night and Some Hair-Raising Experiences. I think it's warm enough. I'm going to turn the heater off. Give me a second. Alright. There we go. Now I can just hear the rain pissing outside the window. And I mean, it is raining. Holy. This is titled My Night and Some Hair-Raising Experiences. Hey, Steve. I hope this email finds you and Sarah happy and healthy. It does. Appreciate it, man. It's Ricardo Nascimento. Hope I pronounced that right, man. Here. It's been a while since my last email to you, and for all you listening, Ricardo is one of the original people who emailed me from here on the coast of British Columbia in the beginning, when we first started talking publicly on this topic. I'm writing regarding the experience you had about 2 months ago where you had to leave your camp and sleep in your truck because of the racket they were making around your campsite. I also want to touch base on your experience with the knife. All right. So, as you may remember, when I had my sighting back in 2006 with Robert Kennedy, that's the guy who was absolutely taken advantage of and abused by that BF organization. I too had to get out of there because I was scared shitless because of what I'd just seen. We ended up driving back to his house and past it to an area under the major power line right away, about 500 meters away from his place. I've been in that power line. That night, Robert and I heard two Sabe arguing with each other. After I'd fallen asleep, Robert said that the argument continued and they actually walked past our parked vehicles not more than 50 feet away from us. I slept through all of that while he was shitting himself, afraid that they would approach us. You also mentioned your knife that was left in your backpack by whom or whatever after you had lost it. Although it isn't the same, I've been having some odd experiences. For example, I've been finding dimes that seem to appear out of nowhere. At my home, at work, out and about. It's supposed to mean that someone who has passed is with you and wants to let you know they're there. I've never experienced that before. Recently, I've been told that there was a... Okay, hold on a minute. I'll touch in on that one. This has been going on with Sarah before we even met each other, and it still goes on today. We find dimes literally everywhere, and she goes, dime, dime, dime. It's nonstop. It's nonstop with this, to the point I just make jokes. She'll go, dime, and I'll go, could you just tell them to change it up to silver dollars, please? That's to the point we're at with the dimes in this household. And I know I've never mentioned it before, so there you go. And she said the same thing. Recently, I've been told that there was a Sasquatch sighting just a few kilometers from where we currently live. Excuse me, which surprised me considerably because I did not think that there were any Sasquatch/Sabe on the island of Newfoundland. Holy shit, you're on the other rock. Crazy. Mainly because I haven't seen any of the telltale signs of their presence. Mind you, I don't go out as often as I used to either. Anyway, the person that had the sighting says that they have a photo of what they saw. I haven't seen it yet, But once I do, I'd like to take a comparison photo to see what the size difference between the subject and I would be. According to the witness, the subject was walking a distance behind someone riding a quad. And then the witness said that the subject was huge in comparison to the quad and its rider, and at what seemed to be a regular walking pace, was keeping up to and even catching up to the quad. Once I see the photo and take the comparison shots, I'll send you an update. In the meantime, they are certainly aware of you now, obviously, so stay safe. Give my best wishes to Sarah and keep up the good work. Cheers, Ricardo. Okay, man. Sounds interesting. It's actually quite interesting that you were in BC and now you're on the other rock on the East Coast. Interesting move. Usually it's people coming the other way. Never been there. I have some dear close friends on the rock over there. What can I say to that one? From what I've learned, what we have been learning, but what I've had more or less confirmation of, is they can be anywhere. They can and are anywhere at any time. There's no borders or barriers for them. All right? Man, I've learned a lot. The past 48 hours, I've learned so much. As my brain wants to explode, it's just scream it all out. I wouldn't even make sense to start to do it. They are everywhere, man. They're everywhere. One message that stands out is we do not want to physically be near them for any length of time. For our own health. And there's nothing they do to us intentionally. It's for our health. That's a fact that I've learned. I can say that with confidence because I've picked up and learned notes on that from various people around the globe, mostly scientists, that it is not a healthy thing for us to be near these people physically for any length of time. And it's not because of what they intentionally do to us. It's just not a good thing. It causes, more commonly, it can cause various cancers to our bodies. There you go. We discussed this a great deal at length in my conversation with Melba. Now, what am I going to do? I got to get ripping, you guys. Hope this wasn't too short, but I got to go. I got a lot to do, a lot on my mind. I really am looking forward to setting up this 3+ hour conversation and make it available to who it may help and who is truly interested. And it is only fair, I am absolutely convinced it's only fair that we attempt to and do generate more funds for this group of people who have been shut down entirely by mainstream government, and the mainstream scientific world and government has went out of their way to try to prevent this group of people from going anywhere further. So it's up to us to make sure that truth train keeps ripping. And that's what we're going to do. And I know I do have the means to do that with everyone here. That's what we're going to do. If that makes you snivel, you're in the wrong place. You better go somewhere else and get something that you feel you deserve from a stranger somewhere else, all right? I'm probably coming across as a grumpy prick today. Oh, well. It's tough, you know. It's not tough. It's just, it can be challenging for someone like me who doesn't give a shit what he says to learn so much in such a short time. And unfortunately, a lot of that knowledge that I'm gaining also is not so good, okay? There's a lot of bad players. When it comes to this topic anymore, there's a lot of bad players. And these bad players are very smooth at deception. Very, very, very smooth. I've been duped by a few of them. I'll admit, not going to mention any names, but yes, I have been duped by a few of these players in the past. Okay? So, that can give me a little bit of shit-eating edge to my attitude, right? Which you're seeing probably today a little bit, but you know my story, you know my past, you know how I react to the dark side. I'm not a passive personality. I'm not. And I do not have scared in me. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of humans. I'm not scared to speak truth. And I'm not scared to say what needs to be said. And a lot of my knowledge I've acquired lately is, for me, it just makes me really growl. And my patience for the dark side right is zero. My patience for bullshit is absolutely zero. My patience for disrespect in any way, shape, or form here today is at an absolute zero. Just so you know. I don't like to shrug shit off. I don't look for it, but I'm telling you right now, I'm headhunting. Right now, I just feel like I'm headhunting. If anybody here has anything disrespectful to say, deliver, make present, I'm going to find your ass and make sure that you cannot be a part of this group of good, honest people like ever again. And if you do, you're going to have to do it like a little snake in the shadows. Right? Sorry. I'm getting a little carried away. I gotta go. I gotta go eat. I gotta go take care of things, gain more knowledge. I think tomorrow at 10:30 I'm on with David Nino again, another truth-seeking individual. What else? Quick note. So yes, will I be traveling to go meet up with a group of people who have contact with these beings? Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna do it. Am I going to go out there and make contact? Am I going to take the invitation to go meet and greet? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And 110% for everything I witness, learn, see, and hear, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to do it. There you go. Anyway, tonight, possibly, I don't know, we'll see what happens on here with YouTube. If they, it says it's in review right now. Let me refresh this page. I'm sure it probably still is. Oh, where'd I go? Shit, I gotta go. As soon as I see, oh, it's approved. It's approved, we're good to go. This video between Dr. Melba Ketchum and I will be available later on today. There you go. I'll be back with more soon.